Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain's Brunswick property is located in the Rideout Shear Zone in Ontario, with grab samples running as high as 32 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program to test numerous targets located by recent groundwork is planned for early 2018. Please visit our website at rmroyalty.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sean Brodrick, Senior Editor for WeissRatings.com. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much for having me on.
Oil, is it going to continue to head? Some people say $80. Is that likely, or are we going to see a big drop?
A gradual rise would not surprise me, but I think what the market isn't pricing is a sudden shock, which we could have if Iran blocks traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. 30% of the world's oil that is shipped by boat travels through that strait, and that's about 18.5 million barrels per day. And so there are alternate pipeline routes that could maybe handle 4 million barrels a day, but that's a big chunk that could be pulled off the market. And the more the Trump administration squeezes Iran, the more likely the people in Iran are likely to do this. Now, you'd be thinking, well, they could risk a real severe attack by the United States if they did something like that. Yes, but they might get to the point where they don't think they have much left to lose by actually rattling the cage. So I don't think the market is pricing that in. That we could see a sudden shock. There are other black swans that could rear their heads. Of course, we don't know what those are. But more trouble in the Middle East. I'm not saying it's a sure bet, but it's looking like the odds are actually better on that all the time.
Well, both Trump and Iran are talking very tough right now. Iran saying, we'll give you the mother of all wars.
Yeah, the grandmother of all wars. That's, and it's crazy talk on both sides. They should be able to work something out here. And we'll just have to see how that goes. But that's, one aspect of it. Another thing that actually might affect U.S. oil production, and you may not know this, is that most of the pipelines used in the U.S. oil fields are imported because that's where the heavy steel pipe comes from. Most of it isn't made in the U.S. And so if we slap tariffs on imported steel, guess what's going up? The cost of those pipelines. Now, we've already seen one company apply for a waiver on that imported steel pipe saying, look, this is to promote U.S. oil production. We really need this. Can you not do that for us? The Trump administration said no. And there are two more major pipeline companies I can think of that all need to import steel pipeline. And what this actually points to is a slowdown in pipeline building. It'll have to if they can't get cheaper pipelines. And so what does that mean? That means that we might be able to pump the oil in the U.S., but we might not be able to get it out of the fields. And so these grand projections they've had for rising U.S. oil production are actually based on an infrastructure build-out that actually may be, may happen, may not happen. So you put those things together, and we could see a squeeze on supply.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after this.
I'm Brian Fowler, president of Blind Creek Resources Limited, listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, ticker symbol BCK. Blind Creek is focused in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and British Columbia. The company's key property is the Blend Project, one of the largest undeveloped lead-zinc-silver deposits in Western Canada, plus plans to advance the recently acquired, fully permitted historic engineered gold mine in the Atlan District of northwestern BC. Check us out at blindcreekresources.com.
Vadic Ventures Corp. is a potash exploration company focused on the Korat Basin in Thailand, the world's largest undeveloped potash resource. Vadic's management has extensive potash exploration and development experience in Thailand. Vadic will have marketing advantage compared to Western producers. Drill program commences this spring. Vadic trades on the TSX Venture, symbol VCV, and on Frankfurt, symbol V8V2. Visit our website, vadicventures.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. Sean, what's happening in the uranium space? Is it glowing?
Oh, my stocks are glowing. I mean, yeah, when you look at something like Energy Fuels, it's just leading the pack higher. Now, let's see, I'm not sure of the exact date, but let me see. Yes, July 25th, after the market closes, Cameco is going to report earnings. And that could be a bellwether. That could be a thing that people should be looking at if they want to know what's going on in the uranium market. Is that report from Cameco could indicate what's going on with, like, global uranium, North American uranium, Canadian uranium, of course. And so that's something people should really be watching. And then Energy Fuels reports on August 2nd. And so that's another one you want to watch. And those are two reports, both coming up very closely. Now, we know that the Commerce Department is looking at doing some kind of deal for Energy Fuels and UR Energy. And what those companies have requested is not tariffs, but they've asked some kind of program where U.S. utilities that use uranium source more of that uranium from the two U.S. producers, Energy Fuels and UR Energy. So, how would that be done? We aren't sure. It is under study at the Commerce Department right now, and in the latest twist to this, a group of U.S. utilities said that if there are tariffs on foreign uranium, then they might look to phase out U.S. nuclear power plants. Now, I don't know how much of that is just tough talk, how much is actually trying to work the refs, but it looks like there's forces on both sides here. For now, the market is believing the bullish story. They believe that this will really help U.S. uranium producers. We have two, and then there's Uranium Energy Corporation, which is holding on till the price of uranium hits about $40 a pound, maybe 45, before it actually brings its mines online. The price of uranium is now $23 and change, and so it has a ways to go there. But these are the developments that are brewing in the uranium world. I like U.S. uranium producers, but I also like international uranium producers. And heck, Cameco could actually be a U.S. uranium producer. It has uranium projects in the U.S. that are shut down right now. It could turn those on if it had to, or if it wanted to, if it could actually make money on them. Right now, though, it's cheaper for Cameco to purchase uranium on the spot market than it is for it to run its big MacArthur mine. That one has an all-in sustaining cost of, I think, $30 a pound, and now they can actually buy it on the spot market for $24. That kind of disconnect will not last for long. I mean, it has lasted for longer than anyone thought, but it can't last for too much longer because things in the market are changing. A lot of uranium was sold into the market by Japanese utilities. Now those utilities are switching their nuclear power plants back on. We have seen producers around the world, in Kazakhstan and Cameco and in Africa, close down mines or else just pare back production. And so these are the forces at work in that market, and I think it makes it one of the most bullish markets for 2018.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after the break.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp. Inc., MGI on the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected high-grade gold, including 16.9 meters of 13.58 grams and 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program is planned to further evaluate previously identified subsurface high-grade gold mineralization. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. Sean, the U.S. is going to see a squeeze on newsprint prices. What's happening there and why?
Yeah, we're actually hearing from a lot of small local newspapers in the U.S. This could be the thing that breaks them, because you know those things operate on a shoestring anyway, right? These are the small papers that pick up the news that the large news organizations do not cover, and they run on very tight budgets. And now we're seeing tariffs on Canadian newsprint, and most of the newsprint used in the U.S. comes from Canada, because you have all those nice forests and all that pulp and paper. So then you have to think that the large newspapers are probably also feeling a price squeeze just when they need it the least. So this is a way that we have unexpected fallout from the tariffs. Another one is that the Trump administration just said that it was going to give $12.1 billion in subsidies to U.S. farmers to make up for the hit they're taking from the tariffs. Now, the tariffs are supposed to be a big win, right? But now we have to shovel out another $12.1 billion to make up for the losses that they're feeling. I think that there's more unexpected hits to come, more collateral damage that they just aren't planning on. For one thing, they haven't thought these tariffs out well. It's more just kind of an impulse thing. And also, with an economy being the very complicated beast that it is, there can be all sorts of ramifications and secondary things going on that you just don't anticipate when you do the first thing.
And also the markets that the U.S. farmers had in China, and they're going to source out cheaper product. Will they ever get that Chinese market back?
That's a question. I can tell you that it really hurt Saudi Arabia, when it cut back its production to China because it was trying to lower global production. And so other sellers stepped in and they took up that sourcing on that. And so now Saudi Arabia is trying to come back, and the Chinese say, well, we already have these deals worked out with other people. So could the same thing happen to U.S. farmers? I don't know, because again, very complicated thing. And these tariffs and all this stuff, a lot has been talked about. Not a lot has been done yet, though it is coming. So we'll actually have to see how that works out for U.S. farmers. One more thing that we should think about is that we know President Trump has promised something big on NAFTA with Mexico. He's trying to push ahead with negotiations with Mexico first before Canada. And no one knows what the something big is. So it's weird to have your economy and your political process run like a game show where you have big reveals, but that's the world we live in now. So what will go on with Mexico? Will it be something big, or else will it be like the something big we had with North Korea that was really nothing at all? I don't know. But again, that's uncertainty that should be priced into the market.
I'm just waiting for Dennis Rodman to be appointed the ambassador to North Korea.
I would give him to them gladly, but that's just me.
Sean, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thanks. And I'll just remind people who are listening to this that I will be at the San Francisco Money Show speaking on August 25th. And so I hope if anyone's listening and they're around, they come and see me there.
Sean, thanks again.
Thank you.
My guest has been Sean Brodrick, Senior Editor for WeissRatings.com. If you have any questions for the show or for people like Sean, you can send them to info@HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.